My next claim is that morality and purpose cannot be found within science. Precisely the point that you just made, that science has to exist within a moral framework that isn't in itself scientific.
How's that not scientific?
Well, because it's not derived from the scientific process, as you just indicated.
It doesn't need to derive from the scientific process. So
No, science doesn't explain morality.
It doesn't explain how social animals would need to be
Well, that's a
altruistic?
complicated. Yeah, but explaining the evolution of morality and explaining morality itself aren't the same thing.
Because we're social animals, we
Yeah,
need
but there's
to be...
more to it than that. For example, so we're moral animals that have a sense of the future. That makes us unique. And that structures our morality.
No, tigers. Actually, there was a tiger at the SF Zoo that killed somebody. The tiger actually plotted its escape, and it found the kid.
So your claim that morality and purpose can only be found in science is a little shaky, because I think that your claim is really being framed to be morality and purpose can only be found in religion.
I would say that the domain of religion is the domain of morality and purpose. Yes, exactly. And also that science is actually structured, at least in part technically, to eliminate such considerations from its purview a priori.
Okay.
Right? That's why we define science as value-free. But that has to be wrong, because scientists have to prioritize their attention towards something before they can even engage in observation.
Okay.
And that act of prioritization of attention is a value-predicated act. And so I can continue. There's all sorts of things we have to assume about science before it can take place.
Okay, so what I'm specifically pointing out here is about religion in particular, since you yourself are a Christian, right?
People debate about that, and I generally don't discuss it publicly.
And me, myself, I am a former young earth creationist fundamentalist. I used to run a TikTok channel directed about apologetics about the Bible, specifically in this type of facet with morality. So in the Bible, it talks a lot about slavery, right? So in that, it teaches you how to take care of a slave. Rather than saying slavery's wrong, I think it should say that.
It says that in the story of Moses. That's why Moses leads his people away from slavery.
But why does the Bible predicate and tell people exactly how to take care of a slave? Wouldn't you say that culturally we've evolved as a species, as he said earlier, about empathy?
Yeah, I would say that the reason we evolved, so to speak, away from slavery was because the West was founded on Judeo-Christian morality and the presumption that every person was made in the image of God. And so slavery itself became immoral, and that was established by Protestant Christians in the UK, who then convinced the UK government for 200 years to go to war on slavery.
And wouldn't you say that this is about the cultural evolution of humans in general, rather than just Christianity?
No, I think it's the flowering of the ideas that were embedded in the biblical texts across long spans of time.